NBA Draft Week 2013 is right around the corner. We've got a mock draft show for you coming up the day before the draft at 8 p.m. Then Thursday, we've got a draft preview show at 5:30. The draft comes your way at 7:30 on ESPN. Then we've got a recap show afterward right here on NBA TV. And on Friday, we've got an East review and a West review at 8 and 9. The Cavs have the #1 pick for the 5th time in franchise history. Back in 1971, they took Austin Carr out of Notre Dame. In 1986, they took Brad Daugherty out of
UNC, Chapel Hill.
In 2003, they took LeBron James out of St. Vincent, St. Mary's. And in 2011, they took Kyrie Irving out of Duke. Who will they take in 2013? We will soon find out. And the Cavs last year finished 13th in the East. They had a terrible defense. Kyrie Irving missed 23 games but did make the All-Star game. Mike Brown is back to be the head coach of the Cavs, and they do have 4 of the first 33 picks in the 2013 draft. So it's Cam, Bones, Rick, and insider David Aldridge. So, DA, has the pick for the Cavaliers crystallized down to Nerlens Noel, Ben McLemore, and Otto Porter Jr.?
Well, no, I think there's more guys than that. I mean, look, you got to have Oladipo in there with his defensive ability. I think you have to at least consider Alex Len, although I don't think he'll be the first pick, but he is a center. He's a legitimate center in the draft that doesn't really have any. I think with Mike Brown being back as head coach, you have to look at them, and you mentioned their defensive shortcomings, that you've got to look for somebody who can guard some people. They got to start stopping people to have a chance. And so a guy like Oladipo, who has incredible defensive instincts and ability, I think is somebody that they would have to look at, even though they do have Dion Waiters there already. But you need somebody that can come in and block some shots, get some stops, get some rebounds. Noel certainly can do that. But again, he's up, and I say that in parentheses, to 212 pounds. And so you just wonder if a guy with that body shape and size can handle the pounding in the paint and the hole if he has to play center. It's a big ask. So that's why I think they're going to look at him next week. He comes in, they're going to visit him, they're going to examine him, look at his knee, look at his body, see how much they think he can hold, and I think then that we'll have a much better idea which way they go.
I'm so glad you enunciated ask in that.
Ask with a K.
But thank you very much,
K.
DA. So last year, DA, they had 4 picks in the top 34. This
Right.
year, 4 in the top 33, and they elected to make the trade for Zeller to bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
What's the likelihood this year of them doing one of two things? Making the same sort of deal, but are they going to get a young guy, or do they think maybe they target a guy that they feel is a veteran presence for Mike Brown moving forward with those other 3 picks, and they pair somebody with Kyrie Irving who they know is complimentary?
Well, I'd be surprised if they went for a veteran. They're not there yet, Bones. I mean, they've got a lot of moves that they have to make. They're not anywhere close to being a contender. I think at this point, the goal is use these draft picks, some in trades to bring in other young guys, but to increase your talent pool as quickly as possible. I don't think that a veteran guy is going to be the best fit for them right now, just because a veteran guy's not going to want to be on a team that's rebuilding and really doesn't have a future, an immediate future, I should say. They do have a future with Kyrie Irving, but it's going to take 2 or 3 more years for them to add enough talent so that they can make a move in the East. Right now, I think they're just trying to get as many good players in there as possible.
Well, that's my concern, DA. I think if they're not going to make Nerlens the first Noel, they need to surround these young kids with some veteran influence. Because you can go one of 2 ways. You can go the OKC direction, or you can go the Kings direction where they're struggling.
Yeah.
This first pick, you talk about the 3. Is there a chance they move that first for someone really, really substantial?
There's always a chance you can move the pick in a draft like this where you don't have a definitive #1 guy. But the problem is you don't have a definitive #1 guy. So while a team would have to want to move up, give up an asset of its own so it can move up and take somebody that it probably could easily take later in the first round. I mean, I don't know that anybody's going to move up to get that pick. So I think right now the Cavs will continue to go the young route, not only because they need to add to their talent base, but with the new collective bargaining agreement, it's cost effective to have as many young guys on their first contracts as possible. Keep that salary down.
If the Cavaliers select Ben McLemore out of Kansas, he would be the first true shooting guard to be taken first overall since the Hawks took David Thompson back in 1975.